In this interview, I'll be talking to the author of this book, Building Dreams Across Continents. This book is written by Kelvin Puri, and he will be giving us his top tips for how you can build back home while in the diaspora. Kelvin is the perfect person to have this conversation with because he's been living in the diaspora for over 20 years, and he's a seasoned quantity surveyor, and he's building 22 units here at home while living in the UK. So you don't want to miss this video. Don't go anywhere. My name is Natasha Chumia. If we haven't met before, I am the CEO of Diaspora Connect. And on this channel, we like to give you information and inspiration to help you who's living abroad buy property back home in a safe and reliable way. But in today's video, we're actually talking all about building, and I can't wait to share our conversation with Kelvin Puri, who's going to give us some top tips in that area. So my guest today is Kelvin Puri, and we're so excited to have him on the channel. Kelvin, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's a wonderful pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
So let's start with the book.
Yes.
Yes, this wonderful book, Building Dreams Across Continents.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what it's about?
Right. Now, that's a very interesting question, I think, and has so many answers to it that I can provide. Now, the book is obviously personal story, my personal story, and it provides a guide to my brothers and sisters in the diaspora on how to build back home while living in the diaspora. Now, I don't just provide that guide, I provide that hope. I provide steps that they can take in order to make sure that they succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you write the book? What compelled you to sit down and write the book?
Right. One of the things that I saw, whether it's on talking to friends around in the UK and elsewhere, is how frustrated people are trying to build, and most of them actually failing to do the projects, and others completely abandoning projects. Now, I know how it is and how hard people work in the UK. And if you start a project, you have to finish it. But there are so many issues that crop up that make them not to do it. So I thought, why not? Because I've been on this journey. Why not try and share the lessons that I have obviously gathered over the period that I've been building back home, and advise them, share that through my YouTube channel, which I have, and of course through the book.
It's wonderful. And I think that's a perfect segue into my next question, which is, what are some of the challenges that people face? Because for someone to start a project, pump money into it, and then abandon it,
yes,
or really struggle, it means that, they've really hit a brick wall,
yes,
so to speak. So can you speak to some of those challenges that you've seen?
Right.
Especially for people abroad.
Absolutely. The first one is trust issues. And I cover that in my book. Just who to trust to do the project for you. Some people will come up to you and say, well, we'll do this. And over the period, obviously, you've heard the stories where you send money and then they're taking pictures of somebody's property and all that. So trust issues always come up first. And the next one is obviously lack of oversight. Who is there to supervise the project? I experienced that myself as well. And the other one is actually overcharging. Now, for me as a quantity surveyor, that's where I come in, because most of the people that will come to me and say, well, Kelvin, look, there is a quotation. This is what I've been given to build. I'll give an example. I helped somebody to build a wall fence for an acre plot. And it was quite a lot. I looked at the bills of quantities. People get intimidated to look at such stuff. So I looked at the bill of quantities. The whole thing was overcharged. And I told the person, I said, I will try and help you build this. And we actually slashed that by half.
By 50%.
By 50%. So overcharging is actually the key, because whenever somebody hears that somebody's in the UK, is in the US, they think, the cash is just dropping off from the trees. But it's not the case. And so that's one of, those are the three challenges that I can think of.
Now, I think it's really interesting, the first two that you point out, which is, who to trust, issues,
yes,
and lack of oversight. I know that for many of our friends in the diaspora, they do want to use family and friends. And I've had so many clients who will say to us, no, my uncle says that he can supervise, help me build.
Yes.
So, before we get into the rest of this wonderful book, can you just speak to that? Because,
all right.
I think when I talk about it, sometimes there's the thing that, she just wants to charge us a lot of money. And, I know my relatives can help me. But maybe you, as a professional, as a quantity surveyor, can speak to that point, especially being in the diaspora yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, I will talk about, as I do in my book, these are lessons that I've learned. I have never used my relatives to help me build. I probably do use my young brother to supervise maintenance, but I'm always checking him, keeping an eye on what's going on. So he's just a body that's there, but I manage everything myself. So if you want to try and keep peace in your family, try and keep your family away from the projects that you are doing. I think what I always say is, don't go out there, or when you are out there, pretend as if cash just fall from trees when you are there. Every penny, every dollar or the pound that you send through, is money that you've earned through hard work. And if you want to try and finish a project, I think ideally the best thing is go with professionals that should be able to help you. I've come up with so many systems that I've put in place that help me to maintain quality, deliver the project on time, and this is actually working with professionals. Now, if I had to go to my relatives, I would not be able to do it, because I think one of the things that they will say is, I think when you send the money to them, they will think, he still has more money. So we can use this money, and then we just tell, no, there was a funeral and all that. And somebody was sick and we had to use. So I think when you are building or whatever you're doing, make sure that you just keep them away. I think that's the best thing that you could do.
So I like what you're saying, because one of the things that I'm hearing, especially the fact that you've even created systems. I know not everybody can do that. But I think, to me, what it says is that you don't abdicate responsibility for your projects to anybody else. And I think that's an important thing, that you still stay on top of everything.
Absolutely.
I think that's a lesson for anybody who's in the diaspora.
Absolutely. I mean, when I talk about systems, and I share that on my YouTube channel, Building Dreams in Africa. Now, one of the things that I do is that somebody will say, but how do you maintain quality, right? I've come up with a system that I call check the checker, right? So now, check the checker. First and foremost, I've got the architect who obviously periodically go and visit the site. Now, I'll give an example of a tradesman. So, for instance, I've engaged an electrician on site. Now, obviously, I'll go through the vesting process, make sure that they are qualified. But out of the crop, because I will go to 3 contractors, and out of the 3, one, I'll give him the job. The other guy will not know, is actually going to be checking on what the other guy is doing. So check the checker. All I need from that guy is, and this other guy doesn't know. So this guy will go, so let's say A is actually doing the work, B is actually is actually checking.
Brilliant.
So he will go there and he will give me a report. It doesn't cost much, but that's how I keep on top of quality, ensuring that the quality is up to standards. And of course, what I try to do is incentivize people. People like to be scolded. So whenever the architect or the checker goes there, I would say, out of 10, what would you say? So most of the guys that are working for me, especially in my project that I'm doing, they will get 8. So when I tell him, I said, I've got this report, I share with them, and I say, you actually scored 8. I feel excited. So those are the systems, that's some of the systems I do use.
And that's really simple. It's something that anybody can incorporate, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
It doesn't cost you much.
It
doesn't cost you much.
And it doesn't cost much, but it's still a cost.
Absolutely.
I think, unfortunately, so many of us want to cut corners and save money in the wrong places.
In the wrong places, yes.
Now, you've even gone far because
Yes.
you've talked about an electrician and architect, but I want to ask you because I know it's a question that comes up a lot.
Yes.
I know you touch on it in the book.
Yes.
But the issue that also comes up is how do you find a reliable contractor?
Right. Okay. Now, obviously, references will come up, but when I will obviously go to people that are here and I'll ask who do I get in touch with, and I think who can do this, whether it's a bricklayer or whoever. But once I've got those names, I just don't rely on one person. I will get a number of maybe up to 5 contractors, whether it's bricklayers and all that. And then I will go through the process. But let me use an example of an electrician. So I will get these recommendations that will come in, but then I have to do the vesting myself.
That's right.
And I have to make sure that they've got the qualifications. And of course, especially here in in Zambia, you have to know that they have to be registered with the Zambia Institute of Engineers. So you have to make sure that they have the right papers and references. And what I try to do is actually call those people. Now, if you are here in Zambia, you can actually go and see the work that they've done. What I try to do is send pictures and references. I will call the people that they've actually said that, or who have recommended them. And basically that's what I try to do. Yeah.
And I think actually that's where perhaps our relatives can help, is you can send them to say, can you go and look at the work they've done and send pictures? No? You don't like that?
No, I'm not going to say much about that because I just believe that I have to handle it myself. But relatives, they will not see things the way you see things.
Okay, I guess.
They will go there and unless you want pictures, that's fine. But if you're talking about the quality of work, the standards differ.
I see.
Unless somebody that has actually been in the industry or somebody who has actually built something. But if it's just my uncle to go and see, the standards of some of the people, unfortunately, when they look at something, they will say, no, it's actually done. You know, the roof is bent. They will be, oh, no, that's fine.
It's okay.
But when I walk around, I will see quite a lot of mistakes, and because that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I get you. It's much better to actually be hands-on with the references, call them, and hit them yourself.
I mean, you're sending money.
Yes.
You don't just never want to. It's your responsibility. The buck stops at you. That's what it is. You're not going to blame somebody and say, my uncle did this and that. And I'll give an example. On my Vona Valley project, despite the fact that I have these checks, I had to come to the UK, to Zambia. I was here last year in September. I'm here 2 weeks, and I'll be back again this year. And I was able to see things that even the architect didn't see.
Right. Okay.
The electrician, the checker, did not see.
Okay.
Loads of them.
Yes.
So you can see that.
You still have to have.
You still have to.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, visit site, as I said.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. I think the other thing that I picked up in your book, which resonated with me because it's a message that I've given as well from time to time, is that emphasis on building a construction team.
Yes.
Because I think so often people feel that building is just about them and the contractor. Like it's almost like a tennis match.
Yes.
But it's actually a team sport.
It is a team sport,
yes. So could you talk about how people who are building, especially from abroad, manage the team? Maybe how to build the team and manage the team.
Okay. So obviously, when you're thinking of building, the first thing that you have to do is make sure that you have an architect on board. And I always talk about architects. In Zambia, you have to make sure that that architect is actually registered with the Zambia Institute of Architects. It's illegal to go by you don't have Katondo Street here? and pick up somebody there and say, can you do me a drawing for the house? So get a registered architect. And what I've tried to do with an architect is he stays on board. His job doesn't end just with doing the designs and submitting them. We've got the approval, the permits, and then we carry on. He continues, and he's going to be there until we finish the job. The next obviously, person that you need to have, obviously, is a contractor on site. Now, we've talked about how you get a contractor. Now, you can go into so many strategies that you could use in order for you to build or engage. You could have a main contractor who will have trades underneath, or you could split up the project into packages, packages. And I've talked about that on my channel. And then you could, especially if you're doing it stage by stage. Yes. So you could have a builder, you could have a carpenter to come and do the roof, you can have all these other trades under one. So again, it depends on what strategy you want to go with. And there's absolutely no wrong answer no wrong or right answer to that. So the other obviously is you need somebody to keep an eye on, a supervisor, a project manager, to make sure that things are going as they should be going. That's what it is. All these people, obviously you have to make sure that you are in contact with them, you're speaking to them. In addition to that, I'm sure I've shared this with you, I've actually used cameras on site.
Yes.
Just the other day, I actually installed 2 more cameras because the project is I can't see their blind spots around the site. So you can use cameras as well. Now, what I would say is WhatsApp is not enough. So you need to have all these things in place for you to succeed in doing your project. What I would say is, in relation to the investment or the project that you're doing, these things don't cost so much. Yes, you've got the contractor, you've got the architect coming and visiting. Obviously, you have to rebase them in terms of transport and costs and all that, but it's not a lot. A supervisor, a project manager, I don't think that's a lot. But if you cut corners, it will cost you a lot, more than you would have spent engaging or putting these systems in place.
No, thank you for that. That was so comprehensive. Now, I just want to talk about something else that I read in the book, which I think that people will also find it interesting.
Yes.
You talk about cultural differences.
Yes.
Understanding cultural differences. Now, some people might think I'm Zambian, I'm building in Zambia, the contractor is Zambian, the team is Zambian. What cultural differences are you referring to?
Yeah, I cover that in chapter 6 of the book. It's an interesting question. And I think we have to be real. I've been in the UK for 18 years. I've been in the diaspora for more than 20 years. Over that period, mindsets change.
That's right.
Where we are in the diaspora or abroad, wherever you are, certain things might mean different things here. For instance, deadline, time, programs. So what I'm trying to say is if I'm in the UK, when I say I have to finish by this, that's exactly what I mean. So you say we should be here by 9. I have to be here by 9. There's Zambian time. There's so many things. So when you are building back home, you have to adjust your expectations, and obviously making sure that you clearly define your end goal. So that's what I'm saying. So you really need to step back. Don't bring the mindset of the UK where things are like Sometimes things don't work like that here.
Yes.
So you have to remind yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, patience. Because sometimes I think when you talk about time here, somebody says, "I'll be coming in the morning." It will be any time from, and you might say at 10, but they will say, "No, in the morning."
Yeah.
So it's 7 to 12.
Yes.
So you need to have that passion to work. If it's in the afternoon, it's from whether it's 14 to 5. So you have to sit and wait.
Yes.
And that's what it is. So you have to adjust your expectations. Yeah.
Because I think if you don't, then you alienate your team. You alienate the people who should be working in your best interest.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay, so you've hinted at it, and I'm sure people are really curious to know. Can you tell us about your project? What are you working on?
All
For
right.
those who are not familiar.
Okay, so my project is here in Lusaka, in a place in Vona Valley, and it's a project that I'm building, and I'm calling it Antioch Apartments, Vona Valley. So we are building there 22 apartments, and sitting on 2 plots. Yeah, very excited.
That's
So
cool.
so we have 8 2-bedroom apartments. We've got 8 1-bedroom apartments, and we've got 6 or 7 studio apartments.
Oh, fantastic. Guys, you've heard it yourselves. He's living in the UK. He's building 22 apartments here at home. Okay, and I hope that all these stories that we're bringing you of Zambians who are abroad and building back home are inspiring you to take action. Now, Kelvin, before we wind up, just tell us about yourself. Tell the audience about yourself, what you do, how you ended up in the diaspora, and also in that, if you can tell the audience how you help people who are waiting. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So my name is Kelvin Puri. I'm a father, a husband, and of course, as I said, I'm a quantity surveyor. Now, I've been in the industry for over 30 years. And I've worked in Zambia. Started my career on the copper belt with, at the time, the biggest construction company then, Delkins. And I've worked in Lusaka as well, and then moved to Botswana, based in Francistown, where I was for 4 years. Then South Africa, I worked for Group 5 for about 2 years. So been in the UK with the biggest construction company again as a commercial manager.
Fantastic.
And we've been there for 18 years. That's really that's how I found myself in the UK or in the diaspora. So in the UK, I was actually recruited by a company called Carillion. That was a number 2 company. They came to recruit in South Africa. So I attended my interviews in South Africa, and that's how I went to the UK. That's right.
Okay, now I know that you have this book, and you also have a YouTube channel, and in fact, you also have a Facebook group. So maybe you can just tell people where they can get these resources if they want to know more about building their own dreams.
Right. I think just to answer how I help people, obviously I share lessons on my YouTube channel. This is Building Dreams in Africa. Now, under that channel, I've got to think about 3 series that I'm running. I just get excited. One is how to build in Zambia while living in the diaspora, where I share my story about what I'm doing. So even right now, as I am here in Lusaka on my project, I'm obviously recording that. The other thing that I do to help people, obviously, is one-on-one consultation if they want me to have a look at what they plan to do and just support them and help them so that they build back home confidently. The third thing that I do, obviously, on my YouTube channel, I have another series called A Stranger in a Familiar Skin. Now, this is an audiobook. Now, that actually, what it's all about is the main character is called John. And he's lived in the diaspora for so many years. And he comes back to his hometown of Kalulushi. Coincidentally, that's my hometown. Now, he comes back, and basically the reason why he's back is to find his identity, connection to his roots, and obviously learn about all the stuff that he's missed out by living abroad. That's kind of what I cover in this book. And so he obviously encountered real life people, lessons. He's read this book, so he will tell you about what he thinks about the cover, what the content is in episode 10. So that's, I mean, it's another way of learning and sharing the lessons that we are picking up. And of course, the last thing is obviously this book. I intend to write another, which I'm working on. It's just I'm so busy, volume 2, which will be quite detailed. I think will be kind of focused on practical, real stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, from first principles, how to build up, how to check your prices, how to understand the bills of quantities and all that. I want to try and simplify things because I don't want to try and I'll call myself a rebel QS because I want to give out all the secrets so that people can build. That's what I want to try and do. Yeah.
And where can people find the book if they want to buy the book?
Right. This book is on Amazon. So you can actually just search for Building Dreams Across Continents or just type Kelvin Puri.
Yeah. And so that we can link to it below the video.
Absolutely.
If you want to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's there.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. This has been so fruitful. It's been so informative. And we really just want to thank you. We know you're so busy.
Thank you.
For you to make the time to have this conversation and to share what you know with people in the diaspora. We can't thank you enough.
Really appreciate. Lovely place that you have here. I'm enjoying myself here in Lusaka. Blue skies, beautiful. Love it. So I hope you found that discussion really useful. I know that I learned a lot. I learned about how you need to check the checker and also how you can implement your own simple systems to ensure that you're getting real value for money for your building project back home. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also share it with one other Zambian in your community who you know is interested in property or building back home. I also want to ask you to please subscribe to our channel. I know so many of you who actually watch our videos are not subscribed. So we would appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification button so you don't miss any of our future videos. And of course, connect with us on social media because we love to chat with you there. Otherwise, it's bye for now.